Yeah, I was actually worried we weren't going to be able to do this today. My Wi-Fi was out all day yesterday. I woke up at like 3 a.m. out here, and I normally like fall asleep out here. Um, but yeah, I woke up at 3 a.m. The TV was like not connected to Wi-Fi, and I was like, okay, whatever. So in the morning, I was like, I'll just reset it. I woke up, and my wife was like, it's out like everywhere. Spectrum is down. It's like a grid issue or something. And then come to find out later, just skipping forward, it was like people searching for copper, and they've been apparently this has been an issue everywhere. It's like
Little
copper in the
copper
wires.
thieves.
Yeah, little copper thieves. And they actually ended up just cutting the spectrum fiber wire in several
Did they
different places.
electrocute themselves?
I hope so.
That would be
I
hilarious.
yeah, you just drive down the street.
Yeah, you just gotta,
There he
you
is.
got, yeah, permanent Parkinson's that you created amongst your own
Yeah.
stupidity.
But it was out the whole day. We didn't get back till 11 p.m. I think is when I saw it came back. So having gone without Wi-Fi all day really just reminds you like, oh, like we really depend on a
Did you
lot
go
of
get did you go get like a horse-drawn wagon ready
yeah.
when you realized you didn't have Wi-Fi?
I got a crank TV. I had to buy a mouse to
Did
keep the
Seabiscuit come up to your house saying you want to ride?
yeah. Yeah, I made Lucy run on a treadmill to keep the everything going, all the
Oh
electricity
yeah.
going. So she got to work out. But
Good
no,
job, Lucy.
it's definitely one of those things where yesterday was just Wi-Fi, but I was like, man, we are really dependent on the internet because we watched the race like on my phone and everything. And I couldn't even control this fan behind me. I use it through my phone. But we do have a physical remote, which proved to be better. But yeah, thankfully I had some DVDs that I bought recently, so wasn't totally bored, but it was just one of those things where, yeah, we need to get off this internet and learn how to survive.
Yeah, no
So,
kidding.
so that being said, let's upload this video to YouTube and let's
Thanks
get
for the
into it.
Wi-Fi being back on.
Yeah. Thanks, Spectrum. There was two trucks outside today, and I wanted to walk up, be like, "What's going on?"
Y'all gonna
Oh,
let me have my Wi-Fi back?
yeah. By the way, made a great buck off of that copper. Am I right, boys? Give him a high five. But yeah, let's get into the weekend. I'm so looking forward to talking about Mexico.
Oh, yes.
All right.
Mexico.
Get away. And Mexico's done.
So I went out and punched the tree in my yard a lot to get out my anger on how bad that was.
Yeah.
So all that being
Is
said,
that why you're wearing glasses? You still have some rage in your eyes?
there's splinters in my eyeballs.
Yeah.
We won't dive too much into the negativity, man. That was
I
very
think there will be enough
poorly handled.
negativity on the travel part of it all. So I think you oh, Lucy's entered the chat.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, yeah, I'm over it now. It's all good, but dude, that was not fun.
I'm sure.
They gotta fix some stuff for sure. They just if you didn't know how to handle it and to make everything work, I get it, but good God, man, that was rough. Like I mean my whole Sunday was shot by the time I got home. So
Yeah.
um learning, I guess if they do it next year, cool. I think that maybe the ultimate thing is just let the teams handle their own travel.
Yeah.
I did not mind flying on the big seven, was it 767 is what we flew on?
Yeah. The big
Um,
7-Eleven.
ooh, nope, no, we were not flying in a gas station.
That would be kind of cool though.
That would be
Out
really
here it's
nice to
just a
have
convenience store.
any kind of just snacks. No, the plane itself though was awesome. I actually really liked flying on the plane. I don't mind having to go down to the Charlotte Douglas Airport to do it. I just think that they got to condense it and like I said, let the teams handle, or if they're gonna do it that way, just let us fly out day of, come back day of, even if it's like a 24-hour event, like time I leave to time I'm home. Being gone for 60 hours and then the last day just really chapped my ass that I was like, I was ready for war yesterday. Put me on the front lines, infantry, give me a gun, and go tell me to find the bad guys. I was
Yeah.
livid.
Yeah. No, I can relate to like bad logistical travel plans. I haven't really like traveled for work, but just being on a show where you could just tell like stuff wasn't really taken care of on the crew part and just,
Just say, oh, and you can just say you've never understood this.
I don't get your issue. To me, you got a free vacation to Mexico. Um I don't really get your complaining here. You should, I think you
Nah,
should just take a nice pill of suck it up and grow up, Blake.
man, maybe I should.
Um, but no, I can kind of relate to just bad planning and being the victim of the bad planning and really just kind of what it seems like is just trying
It's like
to
when you were a kid and you had parents.
you,
Just
yeah, you're lucky, orphan. Consider yourself
Bruce
lucky.
Wayne had the best life.
Yeah. See, he did something with himself. Take note. Which I was
Yeah,
watching, just had it on the background, the Lego Batman movie. That movie is funny.
that's
That,
hilarious.
yeah.
Iron Man sucks.
Yeah. Well, no, there was one point where Dick Grayson was like, Batman told him to do something. He's like, ooh, parenting. It's like, ooh, I've been parented. I just started dying laughing. Oh, and then he's like, uh, my name's whatever, but my friends call me Dick. Batman's like, kids are so mean these days. There's a lot of, both Lego movies have a lot of good jokes. But yeah. So kind of moving on from the travel part of Mexico, there's definitely a lot there, but if they do go back next year, which as of right now, there is a good possibility. I think we can just go ahead and get this topic out of the way. I don't think the racing on both
I think it was
days.
overall pretty solid.
That's
I
the
didn't get to
thing.
watch
The
much of
racing was
either.
was solid enough to justify the attempt to go back. I just really hope that they have those logistics of the race taken care of now in this one year, and then I hope the feedback, not only with you and I saw a couple other people just talking about just the travel and just the staying and
It
kind
was a
of
bag of ass, let's be real.
yeah, and so hopefully they focus more on that side next year. Yeah, hopefully that can be fixed, and it's a better experience for everybody. Yeah, not just the fans and stuff. That the drivers and the
All
crew
things
members want to come
aside,
back.
what I did get to experience was international food.
Yeah, you came back and you're
It's
like,
it's night and day different. The Coca-Cola down there,
it's better.
I could drink it all day long.
I
I
have it
didn't
out
feel like
here.
crap. No, you don't, Owen. You're
Yeah, we
not in
do. We
Mexico.
have
You're in
Mexi-coke.
California.
I'm in Los
It's not,
Angeles.
it does not have
Look at the
Mexican
news.
writing. It's not in Spanish. It was the cans were like honestly, they looked like my little like my Beast cans that we're gonna drink in a little bit for Pop and Top. That's the size of the Coca-Cola cans. They were like the
Oh.
tall, skinny energy drink size
Yeah,
cans.
we have the glass bottles, but not like the ones you would normally get from the gas. Ours are like you just know they're international. Like they have the white tag because
It's in
that's how
America.
international.
It's invalid. It's not as good.
So,
I
so I
swear.
what I'm
Everybody
understanding
was
now.
down there drinking Coca-Cola as if it was water. We were all like, this
Oh
tastes
yeah,
amazing. Can we have this in
it's a
America?
sugar cane,
I don't know. It was natural sugar,
or that's
and it
what.
was
Yeah,
not. It's not natural. It's artificial sugar they put in it here. I
yeah.
didn't have that weird aftertaste drinking Coke
Yeah.
here. I didn't have that there. It didn't make my stomach feel bloated. Like it was amazing. I wanted to try to smuggle some back, but the second I got off the plane here in America, they were going to take it away. So I didn't
Some
bring it.
local talk for you if you want to. There is a place right next to where El Amigo is on 29, where the Papa John's used to be. There's a Mexican grocery store right there. They have Mexican sodas. Go
I'll
and try
go
and
check
pick
it
some.
out.
I think
They
they have
don't
it Mexican
have
Pepsi.
the big thing I noticed down there was the food was better. Like I ate at a Shake Shack. I've never ate at a Shake Shack. I thought it was like smoothies,
Oh yeah,
milkshakes,
Shake
ice
Shack's
cream.
good.
Never had it. It was unbelievably good. I
Hmm.
guarantee if I go to a Shake Shack here, the one in Huntersville, it'll probably be so subpar that I'll get mad.
Test that
Um,
theory.
I will. I will let you know of that probably within the week. I'll go over there and try Shake Shack. So maybe next time on the podcast, I'll give you a review. The Shake Shack in Mexico, 9 out of 10, if not maybe even 9.5 out of 10. But if I go to the one in Huntersville, it's probably gonna be like a 4.5.
Well, let us
So
know.
I will. We'll clip that for next week. Like Blake Shake Shack review. This is turning into a
I
food
like how you're
review, and I'm
talking
not
about
even a
international
foodie.
food.
And
And you
it's
go,
Shake Shack.
you go to Shake Shack.
Well, so I was told not to eat international food because it can upset your stomach.
I
So I
feel like
kind of
Mexico
stayed away from
states.
it. I kind of stayed away from the actual international, authentic Mexican food.
Oh, I
I
wouldn't
kept
do
it
that.
a little bit modern. Like I ate a cheeseburger from a sports bar, was not great. The fries were good. The fries tasted like food fries from here. Um, but I did drink a lot of the Coke, and then I ate Shake Shack. The eggs, like eggs for breakfast, delicious. Bacon,
Is this
delicious.
did this make you want to travel more now? Are you like, what are the
No, no,
eggs in
not at all.
France like?
No, not at all. It does not make me want to travel, but I'm just saying it made me realize our food here is buns compared to what we have out, like what else is offered in this world. It's way better elsewhere. The food here is so processed, and it's just like we don't realize how bad it is, I guess is what I'm trying to say. We need to like go to other countries, try their food, come back here, try the food that we just tried in the other country and realize, whoa, this shit sucks. Let's go get better food here. RFK, hammer down on the change in food here in the processed foods. I cannot wait to see the change over the next 4 years.
I need you to have
On
more bad experiences at tracks now.
Yeah, I get really feisty. I get backed into a corner and I get ready to fight.
Yeah.
But no, the food was really good. I did not expect that to be my takeaway from this. That the food was good. I was expecting to eat kind of like be bare minimum eating.
Yeah.
But no, it was really good. I almost went to a prime rib place, but they said it was expensive and they said that the steaks don't taste the same, so I decided not to do that. If we go back next year, I will definitely try it. What was the one other thing? I 100% saw a third world country. Like the outskirts of Mexico City.
Hmm.
Woof.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad. It's very it puts things in perspective. I'm not gonna
That
lie.
that kind of reminds me, Lindsay and I were driving cross country a couple years ago, and we're this is when this is where were we going? I don't know. We're going to North Carolina, but yeah. Anyways, we're going, and we had to take the southern route because it was like winter, so we're going through El Paso, and El Paso rides the line. You're on the interstate, and you are on the line of America and Mexico. And so if you look to your left, because we were going east, so if you look to your left, you're looking at El Paso, and you look to your right, you're looking at Mexico. And Lindsay's like, man, that neighborhood. She's looking to the right. She's like, that neighborhood looks awful. And that's it, Lindsay. That's Mexico.
Dude, so whatever y'all saw there, I saw everywhere for
Yeah.
2 full days.
Yeah, I've been
Um,
to Haiti. When I went to Haiti, twice, the first time I went, there was a guy that was hacked to death by a machete laying on the sidewalk.
are
So
you serious?
yeah, it gets that's Port-au-Prince, so it's intense over there. Yeah,
Why'd they hack him up?
I don't know. Maybe he stole
You
some
saw a
copper
dead
wire.
guy. He might
To be
have. You
to be
stole
fair,
our
I saw
fiber
yeah,
internet.
and
Kill him with the machete.
yeah, we need that kind of law enforcement up here in Van Nuys. Yeah, I can't remember. I glimpsed it, but a lot of people were like, "That's what we saw," and I was like, "Yeah, I think looking back now." But
We're just
anyways,
here to talk about Jesus. Here's a dead guy.
yeah, I guess we pray for him. I'm not sure.
Hopefully his soul is in heaven.
Yeah, what do we
We
do with
cannot
this
save
at
him
this point?
now.
Uh, yeah, but let's
Dang,
just
dude, that's crazy. Let's jump into the Xfinity race. I don't have anything to talk about the Xfinity race because we were out after we blinked. Next
yeah,
thing I
that
knew,
that
we were
was
taking it to the
unfortunate.
garage. I was like cleaning up gear oil off the ground, like 6 laps into the race.
Well, so that was my first question, I would say. First off, scheme shout outs. Christopher Bell's car was cool. I'm a sucker for Mobile One. The 14 was really cool. And then I just put Alpha Prime. All three Alpha Prime cars were really cool. Um, but
Right on.
so you had a transmission failure of sorts, something like that. What does a pit crew member need to know about the mechanics of the car? Like how mechanical or how much knowledge does a pit crew member have nowadays? I know it can probably vary, but we saw you open up the
Honestly,
hood, and I was like, I don't
honestly,
know why
we
he's
don't
opening up
have to
the.
know much. We're
Yeah,
not there to take care of the internals of the car. We are there to change tires.
yeah. So
I
why'd you
lucked out.
open
I
up the
know
hood?
I lucked out. I've been around the sport long enough to know like, okay, we something they said we blew up. That was all we got told.
Yeah,
And so for me, I was like, let's see, is it something the external on the engine or is it something else? And then the engine tuner came down and said, hey, check underneath the car. Is it leaking fluid? I said, yes, it's right there underneath the transmission. Someone else verified it as well. They said, yeah, it's leaking something. So Jeremy drove it to the garage. Right as he left, I stuck my glove in the gear oil. I let the guy smell it because they
and
all
then
have
you
different
tasted
smells.
it, and you were like,
I
"That's
licked it and then I said,
there's been a
hey,
murder."
that tastes like gear oil. And he's like, it smells like it. You didn't have to taste it. And I was like, oh, okay.
Honestly, not bad though.
It tastes like the tap water down here, man. I think I'm gonna be sick. I don't know if
Yeah,
you heard about that. Noah Grax, I guess, was
yeah.
like pooping his brains out in the car or something because he drank the tap water.
Yeah, and then
Poor
Shane
Noah.
Van Gisbergen, you didn't probably didn't see his post race interview, but he didn't feel good right before the race. He had to like take medicine, and so he said in his post race interview, like, "Yeah, I was leaking out of both ends," and I was like, "All right," that was like one of the first thing he said.
Dang.
uh, but
Yeah,
yeah, so
so
y'all didn't have a great race.
no, sadly, I think we finished like 36th or 37th out
I'll
of
kind of have
39.
the same experience as Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson wrecked on like lap 7 by the fault of Kurt Busch, and he had to
You
go
mean
back and
Kyle
forth.
Busch?
What did I say?
Kurt Busch.
Oh, I said Kurt Busch. Hmm. They're brothers.
Yeah,
Well, people call me Blake. People call you Owen.
his other Busch.
Yeah.
The other Busch took out Kyle
Uh,
Larson.
yeah, he went too hot in turn one and took out Kyle Larson. But kind of the same thing. Like Kyle Larson came back like 30 something down. And it was
Yeah,
just
I
kind
saw
of
that. I didn't get to watch any of the Cup race because we were traveling home, which ugh, was
uh
not fun.
well, let's finish out the Xfinity race at least. You went
Daniel Suarez
yeah, well,
was
it
the
was
winner.
cool. It was cool to see him come back. I didn't watch their qualifying.
Sort of.
What do you mean, sort of?
NASCAR NASCAR loved it.
They did, but
They're like,
I am not
yes,
on the
the
rigged train.
Mexican-born guy won the Mexican race.
Listen, it's a cup driver
That cannot
coming
be
down.
better headlines for
As
NASCAR than that.
let's not start talking conspiracy and rigged racing because then we got to go back to Dale Jr. and Michael Waltrip finishing 1-2 in July. We we
Don't you
we just
talk
gotta
about that.
we gotta let good moments happen. Let the good
I'm
moment. How
not
did it?
saying it's a bad moment. I'm just saying
It's
NASCAR loved it.
they did love it. They're gonna eat it up. They need to eat it up.
I
From
also would gladly watch Dale Jr. and Michael Waltrip win all day long over and over again.
yeah,
That was one of the best moments, if not the best moment in NASCAR.
and people still call it rigged. Can you believe that? We just need to let good moments happen. And if Daniel Suarez won the Cup race, I would think about it a little bit, but I probably wouldn't think
I
about it
would
too
look a little
much.
more into that
Yeah.
if he won the Cup
But
race.
Daniel Suarez coming down to Xfinity, he has more fire under than usual being in Mexico City. I think he just drove a great race, not without,
Taylor Graybout punted him in the last
he
corner,
did. He went
and he
for it.
did drive through the grass to keep the lead. Are we
Yeah.
gonna call that a pass in the grass like what Dale did?
Yeah. I was questionable on that pass or that at least
I'm okay with it because it looked like he got pushed there.
that's I haven't seen a good replay of it yet, so I still leave it as like my question, but I was like if we're gonna look into anything, that one kind of looked a bit suspicious. But
A little sus.
yeah, cool enough to see Suarez win, wrecked out in qualifying, and so was in a backup car too, just to kind of add the sprinkles on top of it all. But
He started dead last and won the
yeah,
race.
but yeah, like I said, his car was damaged. Like he went through some rough times during the race. He had some issues on pit road and issues elsewhere. Um, let's talk about the top 10 real quick. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Connor Zilic was really good the whole race and then got caught up in an accident. Uh, he really fought back to come back and finish fifth. I actually thought he was going to be on a tear, but his car was pretty damaged. William Sawalich finished as sixth. Good on him. And then Austin Green from nowhere finished as seventh. So good on him. Harrison Burton, just kind of surprised to see him at ninth. But yeah, not a bad race. Honestly, it wasn't as chaotic as I thought it would be. Really, that turn one kind of scared me initially, but then everybody seemed to handle it quite well. So
Heck yeah.
let's go on into the cup race here. My ski
I
sh
did not get to see any of it, so I
yeah,
have no idea.
that's fine.
Nothing.
Let me tell you about it then. So first off, I'll tell you three cool schemes of the weekend. Ross Chastain's Frosty car, really cool. That's a good scheme. And then I've always loved Kyle Busch's number eight car, the Lucas Oil car. I've loved it uh since he went to RCR. And then the one that really grew on me, which I was surprised at how much it grew on me, was SVG's car. Maybe just seeing it so much, I just came
Yeah,
to really like it. But it's a good looking car because he's run it
solid.
before, but he's just never been up front with it, so I never really saw it. But to
Right
get
on.
into how the race went, though, as I said, it wasn't as wild as I thought, especially going into turn one. But yeah, 7 laps in, Kyle Busch really takes the first dive into the corner that we saw, and
I
he
did
just
see that clip
yeah, he
later
just
on.
lost it. But they did, that was during the wet times. That was a couple laps into it going wet. So like they got maybe a lap, maybe half a lap in, and they threw the caution for the rain, which good on them. Better, you know, be safe than sorry in that case. And it proved to be a good decision, which was really interesting because I think it was Chris Buescher and Austin Cindric stayed on slicks, and it was just like they were they were 1 and 2 to
Ballsy.
restart, and it was I was telling Lindsay I was like I am nervous about this, and so again surprisingly handled it very very well. So the whole race was pretty good. There was a lot of passing until SVG got a hold of it at the end. And honestly, good on him. Like he just really proved his skill again. It's not I'm not anticipating this kind of dominance from him at every road course.
No,
Yeah, because this was
that
again a
was
new track, just like
he opened
Chicago
up a
was.
can of whoop ass on everybody, dude. Let's
Yeah,
be
he just
real.
kind of proved how quickly he can adapt to a new track, especially like a road course. But I mean, that being said, like Ty Gibbs still gave him a run for his money at one point. I think just at the end, every driver was a bit more fatigued than him. And
Could be.
his skills of really saving the car did well. But like again, Coda, he wasn't as impressive as he was today. Last year at Watkins Glen, he was impressive, but Chris Buescher outdueled him. And so he still has his vulnerabilities at a constant NASCAR track. So he still might be our top picks and the top pick at every road course we go to, especially something like Chicago. But to me, I wouldn't expect another 16 plus second finish out of him. I'd actually be more
No.
surprised. So, and even coming if we come back next year, I don't know if I would expect this kind of dominance from him. I think every driver is gonna, if it's confirmed, they're gonna really prep for it more and more, and teams will have more data to go off of. But somebody watched his foot cam from Chicago because that's the only time they really let it happen. So somebody needs to go study that heel toe maneuver that he does.
Yeah.
But as I said, he puts on dominance, but I don't know. A lot of people could probably see this as a boring finish. I saw it as a boring finish, but not every finish can be great. And then if every finish is this great nail biting finish, then it's kind of like what they say in Incredibles, where when everyone's super or when everyone is super, no one is. So these kind of finishes happen, and I appreciate them, especially if it's a dominant win. But when those good finishes really happen, then it really makes me appreciate them more and take it in more. Because
Absolutely.
have that highlight every week is just not a feasible thing to do. And then at that point, it's like, okay, what are we doing here? That's when it really becomes gimmicky.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
I will say, I can't say that there wasn't a part of me that was wanting a caution at the end because Chase Elliott was coming through the field. And it was really
You wanted
fun
to
to
see if the
watch.
nine could do something with Shane?
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to see it stack back up. But granted, I will say Chase kind of once he got to third, he kind of stalled out. Actually, I would even say that when he got to fourth, I think Bowman just was worse than him, so he got to Bowman. But yeah,
Used up his stuff.
he kind of had it used up by then. I think he admitted that in the post race. But let's go ahead and just look at the top 10 for the Cup race.
Christopher
Chase,
Bell was two.
Christopher Bell was
Chase
second.
Elliott was three.
Yeah, Alex Bowman and Chase Elliott flipped the books on the Hendrick drivers this weekend. Really cool to see both of them finish 3 and 4. I mean, William Byron finished ninth, but he really wasn't. I was kind of surprised he got a top 10 there at the end. Because yeah, he really
William
wasn't
Byron, I
expected.
was talking to Jeff Cordero, who's William Byron's front changer
Is that the
yesterday.
is that the Hispanic Jeff Gordon?
Jeff Cordero? And it's not Jeff Gordano, it's Jeff Cordero. Anyways, I'm gonna go tell Jeff to punch you in the face whenever you get to meet him. He's like, this guy called you the Mexican Jeff Gordon.
It's
No, I'm
not an
just kidding.
insult.
Um, Jeff Cordero is William Byron's front changer, and he was right next to me yesterday. And something came up about us talking about the Cup race, and he said that the 24 they were talking about that it was not good in practice and
Mhm.
stuff. So he wasn't expecting much today. So it
Yeah.
sounds like they figured out at least some things to have a decent day. So good on
Yeah.
them.
And then Michael McDowell, fifth. Started fifth, finished fifth. Good on him. Really showed his road course, I don't know, flair.
Capabilities.
Yeah. John Hunter Nemechek was my biggest surprise. I saw him spin like once or maybe even twice, but he comes back to finish sixth. Good on him. And then Chase Briscoe in seventh. It's not necessarily I want to comment about his good finish, but him and Eric Jones seem to be making enemies of a lot of
Pace
people.
Briscoe.
Yeah, like he was racing Blaney, Jones, and Chastain pretty hard at one point, and it was like, you seem to be the most aggressive here.
Ah, nice.
But the biggest surprise out of the top 10, the last person we'll touch on is Cole Custer, eighth place finish. So
Good job,
that probably
Cole.
feels good for
I
that team.
shared an elevator ride with Cole this weekend.
Oh yeah, did you go up to
Maybe
floor
that
number
was
eight?
the I did go to floor number 8. That's what floor I stayed on. So
Oh, nice,
815. Yeah.
awesome. Um,
Way to be weird, Owen.
I just call it foreshadowing, really. But that's really it for my notes. We kind of talked about Mexico City already and the good and bad. Again, races were good. I think the travel was bad. They need to listen to the internals, get that feedback, really fix that. And
I
also,
did
let's
not
not do
mind.
that on Father's Day.
Yeah, they gotta do something different about the Father's
Yeah.
Day thing. That was pretty stupid. And if I'm being honest, being at the track was fine. They actually did a great job of being at
How
the
is the
track. They had
track?
a It's overall pretty clean. They have a third level on top of the garage area. There's a third level dining hall basically for all the
Mm.
teams to go up there and eat. They did catering for us, so that was already food was already there. Like so everything at the track, once you were at the track and stuff, pretty simple. I would overall give that a success. Being at the track, everything there was good. It was just everything
Stadium
else
section looks
surround.
really cool.
Yeah, I like the stadium section a
That was
lot.
really
That
cool.
was pretty solid. So like I said, atmosphere vibes, everything at the track overall, I really can't say was a bad experience. It was just simply getting there, the timing of getting there, and then leaving and everything else around it. So it really hindered like my outlook on the race, but being at the track was not bad and getting out of there or even experiencing the racing itself was not bad. Just
Yeah.
the travel like as a whole, everything around it was just really piss poor.
Well, yeah, and you're not probably the only one who's experiencing like a pretty disorienting Father's Day weekend too. I mean, whether you celebrated it before or you're going to celebrate it after, it's not the best Father's Day weekend race because yeah, you can't get them back within the same day like you normally do. Um, yeah, I just think you could do it on another day next year, maybe a weekend or two. And also, I think we talked about this a little bit before the podcast, was just maybe do it right before a bye week or something. Because yeah, those the truckers for NASCAR and all the people who have to drive back, it's just that's a lot. Yeah, I
It's
know,
grueling, man.
yeah, because they probably have to stop by Charlotte first and then go to Pocono still, and it's just I've done 44 hours in the car before. It takes your toll.
Yeah,
So
I agree. I think they
yeah.
gotta look at that.
So coming up, we have Pocono.
Good old Pocono.
And let's clear this real quick. We've made two mistakes the past 2 weeks with our predictions. Last week or this past week for Mexico, our prediction, we both predicted SVG to win both. SVG was only in one. Um, and
Whoopsie.
then the week before we made predictions for Xfinity. Xfinity wasn't even on the schedule. Now we have
All three.
all three coming to Pocono.
34 is gonna win Pocono. We're gonna get the monkey off our back.
Yeah.
It's gonna be pittable and we're gonna be fast. And then I don't know about Xfinity. Um, my prediction will be I'm gonna pick someone. I'm gonna go with seven. I'm gonna go Allgaier.
You're gonna go all guy? Oh, by the way, Chase Elliott is racing in
I don't
Xfinity.
care. Allgaier.
Okay. All right. Well, and then your cup pick.
Cup pick. Let's see. I'm gonna say Carson Hocevar finally wins one.
Oh, it's kind of a bold choice there.
Is it though? He's been fast everywhere.
Man, he made some enemies at Xfinity or not Xfinity, Mexico City.
He punted the 47 again.
It was so funny when you watch
Dude,
it.
I,
If you can
Ricky
go back and watch
Stenhouse
it,
is gonna beat some freaking Carson Hocevar ass.
he
Like
already told him.
either this weekend or maybe even before we get to the racetrack. He's gonna go
Yeah.
find Carson Hocevar and
I
hunt him
think your
down.
pick may be in trouble if the 47 gets around him.
If the
But
47 is ever near the 77, my pick is going down the drain. He's
it's
getting
worth
dumped.
it's worth to go back and watch the highlights if you can. I haven't watched the highlights for the Cup race, but if they put Junior's commentary in right around when that situation happened, it was actually kind of funny. It's like, uh-oh, that's not good. All right, so you got the
Who are you picking,
34,
Owen?
the 7, or you have the 34, the 7, and the 77. Um, I'm gonna go with in
I
the
like
trucks.
sevens.
Yeah,
This
you're going
seven
with
seventy
what
seven.
you want all the luck. Uh, you know what?
We need it.
Gonna go with all sixes. I'm not going to. I'm gonna go in the trucks. Gosh, I'm just gonna go Corey Heim. It's a safe pick.
Wow, what a butthead.
That's a safe pick. Listen, like the 34 wins. I hope the 34 wins, but just for
Then just pick us, man. You're gonna pick the enemy.
I gotta change stuff up for the listener. But yeah, I gotta change it up. So let's go with the one. Um,
Might as well just pick
actually. my
Someone that doesn't
first,
even race.
I can already
Richard
do
Petty's
this.
gonna win.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do my Scooby shout out for the truck races. I saw Tony Breitinger's. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce her last name, but her truck is sponsored by Sunoco, and it looks good. It looks very good. I'll be honest. Oh, I was like, why are you thumbing down? Yeah, I guess rival fuel stations.
I
Listen,
think
I
we
would
had bare
rather go
knuckle
to.
brawl on our truck this weekend. We were really fast in Rockingham with that scheme, so hopefully we'll be just as fast.
There you go. And then in the Xfinity, I will go Chase Elliott.
Okay,
Yeah. And then in
cool,
the Cup, part of me wants to say Denny Hamlin. He's always a constant here. Uh, I'm gonna go Kyle Larson. I feel like they're gonna turn it back on this weekend.
cool.
Yeah, he's always been good here. He just hasn't been able to close it. So,
Heck yeah.
well, I gotta
That's pretty
go.
much it for 10 away this week.
Yeah, I gotta go descale the Nespresso machine. So,
Now we're gonna hop into Pop and Top.
well,
We
don't
have a
tell
new
them
se-
that. I was gonna
we
do
have
a
a
wardrobe
we have a
change.
new segment coming out, guys.
Yeah.
The 10 away has been so successful that we've made millions of dollars, and we're coming up with a second segment called Pop and Top.
Yeah.
Check it out. It's gonna be airing
S-
probably the same day or a day later.
Yeah.
But
It'll
we're
be
gonna start
airing. Yeah.
doing interviewing some of my friends that work in the sport. Sometimes it'll be someone random.
Tom
I've
Cruise.
thought about asking like a homeless person to come hang out with me and do
Yeah.
Pop and Top. But
Hmm.
we're gonna have our favorite drinks or drinks we've never had or a drink that we think is gonna be terrible, and we're gonna have to be drinking it the whole time. It's gonna be a short segment. We're gonna goof off, laugh, have some fun, crack some jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna
Is
be a good
that
time.
that's our pitch for it. Okay. Um, yeah, yeah, it should be coming out soon. But in the meantime, we'll see you next week.
Heck yeah.
Episode 11. We never said
Thanks
that.
for having me. Yeah, it's episode 11. Denny Hamlin's episode. He got to
Yeah,
stay home from Mexico. I'm jealous.
probably good on him. All right, there's been 10 away. It's time to go away. It's nine people
See
just said
ya.
that with me.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
See ya.
5, 4,